All right, it's Luis representing for YBHR Designers. I'm here live representing for our training course, the BIM Gym, another one for this awesome series, help you understand your Revit basics. My name is Luis, and I am here today to explain to you levels and grids. So, I'm going to show you some examples so that you can understand this quickly and get on about your day. All right, so let's go ahead and share. I'm going to share my screen with you all. Cool. All right, so check this out. As you can see, we are in a view of the side of the building, right? I'm gonna show you my 3D building over here. Now we're looking at the side of the building. Now we see this here. These lines right here are called levels. What does that mean? So in a building, when I assign levels to a building, I'm saying that this height is for this specific reason, right? So let's say I had a building that was 5 feet or 5 stories, right? It's 5 different floors. I would have a level line for each one of those floors, right? So that I can reference that whenever I'm looking at the plan, so I know how high this circumstance is, what's the difference between one floor and another floor, and there's any special features that go along with the building. Let's say I had like a balcony or a mezzanine. You can look up what that is. It's like a balcony, right? Indoor balcony. Or if I had a, some sort of special tower or something, I could assign that additional level so that okay, well, this is at this height, so that I can look and I can just have it as a point of reference. Very important in architecture, very important with construction documents and floor plans and things like that. So as you can see on this basic building that I created, right, I have a couple levels. I have level 1, level 2, and I have my roof level. Now, the interesting thing is that my basic roof doesn't seem to be assigned to my roof level. So I have to go to my properties, and instance property panel, and I'm looking and I'm saying, what's going on here? What's up with that? And I said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, the base level for my roof is level 2. Okay, that's interesting. And I know that I want the base level of my roof to be at this one, at the roof level that I have assigned, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click here and adjust, and I'm going to click on roof and click apply. Bam, look at that. You see how this roof, which was attached to the walls, it is now moved up so that the base of the roof, the bottom of the roof, is on the level, is on this level, which is at 20 feet high, okay? And we can see even when I click this that it's showing me between level 2 and my roof level is 10 feet. So we know there's a 10-foot difference here, right? This is part of why we have levels. It's letting me know the difference between the levels. It's letting me know how high a thing goes. And it also means that I can use or assign different components of my model to these heights, right? So let's say that, I realize, well, my roof actually doesn't need to be 20 feet. Maybe I want my roof to be at a base of 15 feet, which means I have to move this. So I have a couple options, right? I could click on here and manually move this down, and you see my roof, which has a base constraint, is automatically adjusting anytime I adjust this, right? Because remember, Revit is about rules, and my roof is following the rules. I gave it some instructions, it's following the instructions, right? But let's say I wanted this to be 15 feet. Of course, I can click here and I can just say 5 feet. And now the distance is 5 feet, and now my roof is at 15, right? Or I can go here and I can type in on the roof, I can say 15 feet, right? Same thing. We got the same option here. Now let's say, what? I want to make a level. I want a level because I'm going to add, I don't know. I'm going to add an extra story to this building, right? So what I can do is I can actually create another level, right? I'm going to go into my 15 where it says roof, and I'm going to use this tool right here, the copy tool, which you're going to use for the rest of your Revit career, okay? I'm going to copy, and I want this next level to be 10 feet higher, right? So I'm going to click 10 feet, click a foot, enter, and now it says level, and it's going to give you like a random name based on what you already have in the building. And I'm going to say this is, I don't know, level 3. Sure, right? We're gonna call this level 3, right? And now you're looking at like, well, this is kind of weird because you already got a roof here. I know, roll with it, okay? I'm gonna move my roof level higher. So let's say I want my roof level, instead of this being at 15 feet, I want my roof level to be obviously above level 3, because that'd be kind of weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and extend my roof level, and instead of this being 15 feet, I'm gonna say 35 feet. When I click enter, aha, look at that. Now I have my actual roof level, my base of my roof level at 35 feet. I have my level 3 level, right? You see, which is at 25 feet. I got level 2 at 10, and I got level 1 at 0. And this would be kind of weird because usually you want these to be even. So what do we do? Let's say I want this to be 10 feet, I can go in here and adjust it to 10, right? And I can adjust, well, actually, let me run it back, because now I have this at 15. Let's do this. I'm gonna make this 10, okay? Then I'm gonna move this down. So I'm actually gonna click the move tool. I'm gonna move this down 5 feet, right? And now we have this roof here, and I'm gonna move this down 5 feet, just to keep it even, right? So now we have our level 1, which is at 0, 0. We got level 2, which is 10 feet high, level 3, which is 20 feet high, and level the roof, which is 30 feet high. So now we have 3 floors that are 10 feet high, each of them, right? That also means that if I were to put floors in here, like let's say I decided to put a floor in here, I can assign a floor to one of these levels as well. So each one of the floors will be assigned to a level, right? Now, what's the difference between levels and grids? It's kind of the same thing. A grid is kind of the same thing, but the difference is that a grid is if I was looking down at the model in plan view, right? So let's say I went to the top of this model here, right? And as you can see, I have no grids. So I would go to my architecture tab, or my architecture ribbon rather, and I would have to go, you see how this grid is grayed out? I can't use it in 3D, which means I have to go to a floor plan. Let's go to my level 1 floor plan, right? Now you see it's lit up, cool. And I'm going to start assigning grids. So I'm going to make the center line of this wall my first grid, and I'm going to click and extend it out. You see how it has the number 1 on it. Then I'm going to go to the center line of this one and extend it out, and now it has the number 2. And the further you go, the more this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And usually with grids, how we do it in the ACC industry is we have ECU industries, we have our numbers, and then we're going the other way, it's going to be letters, because we don't want to have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then go this way 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be too confusing. We want to make sure if we're going one direction, it's going to be one thing, another direction, another thing. So to show you, let's say that I wanted to make a grid going this way. I'm going to, instead of this allowing this to be 3, I'm going to name this A, right? And then of course I have the option to copy this. I'm going to copy this over to the center line, and we get automatically generated by Revit the letter B. Revit is awesome because Revit, once you start going in a certain direction, it has already been programmed to help you out and not have to do so much work, right? Revit is about efficiency. So now I have this grid, I have my grids, and you see these grids are also linked together with this lock tool. So whenever I adjust any of these grids, it's automatically going to adjust the length for both of them because they're locked together, and that's what I want. Same with this one. These are locked together too. So if I click on this circle and pull it out, the grid is going to extend both ways, right? And I also have the option, if I want to, I can click this checkbox and it will show me on the other side whatever number or letter it is, right? So I can click the checkbox, we got 1 and 2. See how this is missing? And I can click the checkbox, and now I got B and A. And this is the basic part of a grid. Now, a lot of times grids are really important because if I want to have something structural, a wall, columns, something of that nature, there may be grid lines that are set there so I know exactly where this thing is. Grids are just denoting important things, especially when it comes to structure. Let's say I wanted to have a column in the middle of the building. Why? I don't know. But let's say that I had a column in the middle of the building. What I could do, I can go ahead, of course, first and add a column, right? Let's say I wanted to add a random structural I-flange column, right? I could put this over here. And of course, there are ways to center this and, you know, make it look cool and blah, blah, blah. But one of the best things that I can do, of course, is I can add a grid. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this grid, and I'm going to copy it to the center. Remember, when we go to the center, there's going to be a triangle that comes up to the center of the building. Now, this one says C. Now, obviously, this is out of order. So, of course, I would assign this. I would make this C, and I would make this B. All right, so we got ABC. We'll make it uppercase, make a little consistency here. All right, so we got ABC 1, 2. There's no 3 yet. All right, but now I can see. Okay, so I want my column to be in alignment with the center line. Right. So let's say I'm at the column or somewhere over here. I can of course use my align tool. I click on the actual grid, and then I'll click on the column, and it will align that way. And let's say because I have 1 and 2, I'm going to need a 3 for the center line to make sure this is centered, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I'm going to copy again, right? I'm going to go where the triangle is. The triangle will pop up as the center. There we go. Cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this 2. It says the name has already been in use, right? So what do I got to do? I'm going to go ahead and make this 3, and then I'll make this 2. Okay, I have my grid here, and then I'll do the same thing. I will go ahead and click on where I want it to go, and then click on what I want it to go, and there we go. And now I have a column, a structural column. This our column, right? It is in the middle, the middle of my actual space now, right? And it is in alignment with the grid, right? These grids are designed so that when these things intersect, or when they're put on a plan, that you are able to find where structural things should be, right? And you can keep with the rhythm and consistency of what's going on here. And in addition to, if you wanted to get more information about the distance, you can of course just go to annotate tool, which is another tutorial, but just if you feel like you want to jump to it, you can click that, and now I know it's 20 feet in between both of these, and I can go this way. I see there's 10 feet between both of these, and now I know, yes, this is definitely in the center. This column is exactly what I wanted to be, and it's in alignment with my grid. Okay, you want to learn more about grids, or columns, or levels, or the basics of Revit, you want to feel competent and confident in your Revit skills, you can check out my course on Udemy. I have a course that is designed specifically for basics, whether you are new to architecture or design or anything like that, or you are someone who's transitioning from CAD, you're kicking the CAD addiction, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to learn Revit, forget it, right? We have courses. I have a course on Udemy right now. It's very quick. It's not one of those 30-hour courses, 20-hour courses. You don't need all that. We need basics, right? And this is a course that is designed specifically to be efficient, to be effective, and to make sure by the end of it, you feel more competent and confident using your Revit skills. You can take it to the next level. You can walk to that job opportunity, or walk to your existing job and be like, hey, I know a little more about Revit today. I'm ready to go. Okay, so check it out. Like and subscribe. More videos coming soon. My name is Luis, representing for YBHR Designers. See y'all soon. Have an awesome day.